everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to share with you a memory spread in my Erin Condren. So this is the Erin Condren Life Planner. I have it in the vertical layout with the neutral color scheme, and I use this for memory planning. So here are a couple of example spreads, but it's the same as functional planning when you're using stickers, but I don't have any running to-do lists. I do use checklists from time to time, but not that often, and I have some photos, and I do have a little bit of like journaling sections, but it's pretty much the same. I'm just outlining what I did in my day and also putting in a couple of highlights, and those little extra photos and journaling just make it sort of tie in all together. So these are from 2018, so I hope you kind of get an image of what I have been doing. And so on to the planner that I'm using for this year. So this is my 2019 Erin Condren. I decided to go with a gold coil and a foiled cover. I really liked the stars at the time that I was purchasing this, so that's what I decided to go with. And I don't really have a reason for wanting a gold coil. I know that it's prone to chipping. I just wanted all of the coils, so there's that. But this page that I'm showing you right now, it's a little bit hard to figure out what to do, and a lot of people leave it blank. What I've found is that I've been using it as a monthly takeaway, and I will illustrate a small image that sort of represented how the month was, or like a major thing that I did, and then I would do a little journal. And it's a lot like gratitude logging, I think, but yeah. I also have been memory keeping, or filling out the monthly views, so I have an highlight for each day, and I've only just recently started actually planning the weekly spreads. Because I have a very specific image in mind for this planner that I want to try out, I will be using kits that I've designed, and that will hopefully at some point be brought to the shop. I do have something related to the shop to talk about in a little bit, but I will touch on that in a bit later. But the kit that I'm using is a kit reformat. I am testing out a new format and just seeing how it goes. This is also a kit that hasn't been released yet. Hopefully I'll be able to bring it to the shop in the future. I also have some washi tape from SimplyGilded, and I have some leftover sheets and some photos that I will be incorporating for this week. So to make sure I don't forget anything that I've done, because I have been actually filling out the spreads couple of weeks after the actual week has finished. I have a weekly layout planner thing that you can just sort of buy from like a stationery shop. Mine's from Kmart, and I've just been keeping track of what I've been doing each day and how my day went. I also use my bullet journal as a reference. In case if you don't know, I use my bullet journal as my functional planner. So that has all of my appointments, checklist, to-do list, all of that stuff. And this is just how my day went. So yeah. So I do have like a prep that I do beforehand, and that is just jotting down everything that I've done so I don't forget anything. I also will print out photos in advance that I want to add in for the week. Normally, some weeks I have more photos, some weeks I have less photos, and I will use the photos as filler space for those days that I don't have a lot going on. So like, it's going to be coming up, but on Tuesday, I really only had like 2 things that I wanted to put down because I didn't do much, so I used a photo to fill up some extra space. Also, with the photos, I like to work, just generally too, I prefer to work with the layout of the planner and work with the boxes instead of fighting it. So one thing that I really like the look of is having the photos fit inside one of the dotted boxes. I think, in my opinion at least, it looks really nice, and it kind of borders it and makes it look like a frame. So I have these set to 4 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and that is the dimensions I use for my photos. And yeah, I plan with white space. It's the way that I've always been planning, pretty much. I like the look. I like the look of having space in between everything. It helps keep it not too cluttered, and I can just like, I have an easier time looking at it, in my opinion, and it just looks nicer to me. I think that is really everything. In terms of the kind of sequence I go in, I'm sorry if you can hear a vacuum in the background. I hope it's not coming across too much. But I normally will put down my photos first so I can see what I have and what space I have to work with. And then I will go in with the bottom washi section, and I like to cut my bottom washi in half. So I also use actual washi tape that I've been collecting, and back in the day, washi tape used to be a really big thing to use, but it's not as much now as it used to be. So because of that reason, I found that this is the best way for me to use my washi tape up. Then I go in with the sidebar. If I want to put headers down, I will put that down, and then I will go in and start planning day by day. So yeah, I think that is everything. If you have any questions, please let me know down below and I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, before I get into the actual day by day planning, I wanted to quickly mention that my Etsy store will be going on a short break from the 31st of March onwards, and I am having a 30% off sale until the 31st of March. So I will leave a little bit more details about that in the description box, but if you wanted to pick anything up or try out my stickers, or wanted to stock up on any sheets, now would be a good time because the sale is on and you can pick something up for a bit of a discount. And the other reason is I'm not 100% certain how long the break will be. I am taking a short break to focus on my mental health and just sort of get a handle back on life. And so because of that, I'm not 100% sure how long the break will be. Possibly maybe 2 to 3 weeks is what I'm hoping for, but it may end up being a little bit longer. I don't really know yet. So I do have a sale on if you wanted to pick anything up, and the store will be closing on the 31st of March at midnight. So all of those details will be in the description. But yeah, so I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about, and I will kind of get into what I'm planning for the week that I am currently doing. I also wanted to, before I go, I know I keep saying it, but before I go into that, let me know if you prefer me talking about other stuff while the video is going, or you would like for me to talk about the actual planning and what I'm doing and going through it as it goes. But yeah, so on to the first half of the week. It was a bit of a slow week, and a slow couple of days. I did attempt to film and edit the January bullet journal video, but I just wasn't happy with the quality of the video, and I just wasn't happy with the voiceover portion and all of that stuff, so I ended up scrapping it. And then Tuesday I took it as a day off because I was just sort of stressing out too much about it. On Wednesday I pretty much just ran some errands. Then I found out my number got cancelled because I didn't recharge it. So that was that. And then luckily on Thursday, my sister and I were planning to have a day out anyway in the city, so that is what I am currently putting down. And I managed to get my number sorted out. I was stressed about it because my number that I previously had, I had it for several years, I think since high school, and because I was on prepaid service, essentially they told me that I've lost my number and I had to get a new one, and I don't really enjoy that much because it means I have to relearn another set of numbers and then change it everywhere else. So that happened. But the fun thing about it is that I discovered that I like bubble tea. Royal milk tea is now my new favorite thing, and I also purchased my IKEA desk. I had been wanting a new workspace set up for such a long time. I think since maybe July of 2018, but I just had to slowly save up the money for it. And then I finally got to take the plunge, and I purchased that on Thursday. So that was really exciting. I did at one point try to film the setup for it, but it just got really hectic and ended up scrapping that. But that happened. And then on to Friday, I slept in. Oh yes, I started to clear out my desk, which was a project in itself because it was a fairly simple setup, but it had a lot of storage, and I took it as an opportunity to really declutter and downsize. It used to be like a desk, like a tabletop with a set of drawers on one side, which was supposed to be like a side table situation, like a bedside table, and then on the other side of the desk was a big bookshelf and shelves and more drawers on the bottom of it. I think not in this one, but I think in maybe a couple more Plan With Me's you might be able to see a photo of it. But I was feeling really claustrophobic in it, and I was getting really tired of being in there because I'd been using this desk since about 12. Yeah, since I was about 12 years old. So I figured it was time for an upgrade, something a little bit more mature. So I purchased my new configuration, which is it's two IKEA desks that I've put together in an L shape, and it has a small little bookshelf situation and a set of Alex drawers, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. I like the space that it has. And yeah, so on to the weekend. My weekends are fairly slow. This one, on Saturday I had to work on some orders and get those out, so I worked on that the entire day. I also at this point had been working on glitter headers and getting all of those formatted and set up, because holy moly, glitter headers actually take such a long time to format, because you need to actually readjust the size to fit the sheets, and then you have to figure out a color scheme and curate those, and it was very time consuming, and most of my day was dedicated to that. And then on to Sunday, which is going to be fairly short because I don't have too much to add, but I went with my dad to pick up the bookshelf, these desk setup, and it was really hot that day, like really hot. So I decided to put that down. And then for the rest of it, I just wasn't having the greatest of days. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit frustrated. So I don't exactly remember because it was so long ago, but that's the main feeling that I remember. So that happened, but kitty cuddles always help, and we've come to the end of the Plan With Me. The very last thing that I wanted to put down was a script sticker that came from a sampler from TamashiPrints, and I just put that over the FoxandCactus girl in the sidebar, and that is it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, even though it was a little bit rambly, but I still hope you enjoyed it anyways, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye!